So, hello everyone. We're doing another video today, and it's going to be a new Tournament Grounds tutorial. So, first things first, I just want to say sorry for the delay. I've been working on this video for a couple weeks now. I meant to release it 2 weeks ago, but I was sick, and I tried recording, but it just didn't work out. So, the script and everything has been done for a while. I just didn't get to making it, and here we are. So yeah, sorry for the delay, but here it is. This is everything in regards to the new update and what you need to know, like how to change your playstyle. Because if you're an older player, and the older playstyles just won't work anymore. So I noticed that for myself. When I first got into the new TG, I was just overwhelmed with everything new, and the stuff I was doing back then just didn't apply to how it is today, and change things up. So, first thing is the new settings. So, this is mostly preference. Personally, I like to have my things clean, I don't like the hit markers, so turn off the crosshair. And as some of you know, I use my own crosshair, so I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you want to check it out, go ahead, but it won't have the little hit markers around it when you shoot something. So that may be a benefit, may not be for you. It just, again, it's preference. I also like to turn my tracers off. This just reduces some of the distraction you get. It doesn't really change much, it's just visuals. But other tracers is important to have on, because you want to be able to see where you're getting shot from, because bullets will go through your body where you're getting shot from, and you'll be able to basically predict where you're getting shot from without going in third person, without getting a call out. You can just see where the tracer is going out of your body or coming at you, and you'll be able to just stay in your first person or equip your gun immediately and kill that person. So it's very important to have other tracers on and to be utilizing them properly. I like to keep my FOV at 70 just because I've played this game for how many years now? I don't even, a couple, and it just feels natural to me, and I don't like changing it. But something that people like doing is making their FOV very high, which is an advantage. You get to see more. Your peripheral vision is expanded. You get to see more when you're third person. But they keep this off. What this means is when you go ADS, aim down sights. Sorry if that wasn't clear. It's the FOV doesn't transfer. So I'll show you the difference. So this is my FOV, right? I'm at about 100. When I go in the aiming down, the FOV goes back down to 70 as it, as you aim in. But if you have this on, it'll stay at 100. So your reticle will be much smaller, and you'll still be able to have that. It'll be better for flicking, but it'll be hard to get that dead set accuracy that you're looking for usually when you play TG, because usually it's just easier to have a bigger reticle, right? That's what you want. Like the reason many, like I'll use an example in Rainbow Six Siege, the reason many operators have become popular is because they have the 1.5 scope or the two times magnification scope, and they're just better. They're easier to play with. So I think it's also preference. You should try out both and see which one you're better with. But those are mine. So 70, this goes on or off at ADS, but I would put it off if you're increasing your FOV. Materials on, I like to, because a lot of people wear camouflage, so they blend in with the walls. They'll make their avatar a solid color, which matches the walls, and they can blend in. I like to keep materials on just so I'm able to see my enemies clear. I like to keep OG lighting on, original lighting on, just nostalgia. And turn all this off. Shadows sometimes I keep on if I'm not planning on going in third person and I want to be able to see the shadows of my enemies through the walls. But if I am planning on going third person, using my mic a lot, I'll keep this off. No point. Just creates lag. So yeah, those are my settings. Mostly preference, but these ones at the bottom I would keep off. And the brightness is, you know, you can go dark or bright. Doesn't matter. I keep the OG on though. So skins. I've already gone over a little bit of skins, I think, but I only have the new ones. But these are really cool skins. I've seen some pretty cool clips with them, and like I know the Catalyst is very popular. So if you're interested in them, I would first I wouldn't just buy them. I would check them out in the LWC Discord. There's a channel where the updates are, and they have a little preview of all the guns. So I would check out which one you like the most, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it. You can also just boost the server and get the booster gun. So if you have Nitro, you don't know where to spend it, go ahead, spend it here. There's also chat tags that you get with your skins. I don't like to use them. I don't even use skins very much. I use the anniversary just because I like the look. I like the AK magazine here and the angled grip. But then again, I just like the clean black look. So which is why I use the anniversary. It's for the most part clean and, you know, sleek. Doesn't really distract me. I noticed that the skins with the particles, they tend to distract, which I just don't like. So I'm gonna be going over positions now, and there are a few different positions you can play. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll go over some callouts. So actually, I already did this in my last video. If you haven't seen my last video, you should check it out where I go over the callouts. I'm not gonna repeat them actually because that would be, there's no point in doing that, because if you watch my videos, you already know the callouts. So this right here, pretend this is the enemy spawn. In theory, this is the best spot to spawn trap. Okay, you get a really good view. Right, if you're looking up there, you get a good view of the enemies coming out, and you can easily just peek it like that. Right, pretty easy. This is the spawn trap barrier. It's a very good position. Another spot to play, I guess, is right here. Enemies can't see you when you're here unless you're wearing stupid packages like I am, but yeah, you just stand here and you wait for them to come for you. This is something you play when you're overextending and you're playing for kills. Only play this if the enemies are still going to the point. Don't play it if they're not, because no one will go there and you won't get kills. So another good position I like to play is close up to this doorway. This is good for another overextend. A little enemies will come in, they won't expect it. You can just get a pretty easy kill here while they're running in, or you can just jump and hit fire. Okay, this is the U barrier. So I'm facing this way this time. This is called the U barrier. Very useful because you can just go down here and go straight into cubby. You can't get shot. Pretty easy, unless they're already in cubby, like pushed up, like over here. You should be able to see my cursor where I'm circling. If they're up here, then I wouldn't. I would just hold this and wait for your teammate to help you. And of course, there's the back barriers and there's the front barriers, all of which are very important. And that is for that side. So you have mid, of course. There's mid barriers. The barriers that are shaped like L's are called L. Okay, L, U, normal barriers. This is a decent position as well, right here where the window is. You can play this, and while they're running out from mid, you can go third person, and you can kind of predict that they'll go in the door, so you can shoot them while they run in. Right? So, make sure I'm reloaded. And it's the same on this side again, except this one has a very good L position that I like to play. You can easily just hold it, pop out whenever you want to kill. Right? Same kind of thing when you are in the back. You just, you know, close and go back down when you're ready or when you need to reload. Pretty basic positions. It's just very important that you play them, because if you're not in position, you're gonna die. If you're out in the open, you're gonna die. Get killed. Sorry, die. I don't know. It sounds weird. Because realistically, anyways, don't pre-fire. That is out of the meta because of the new hit scan. And the new doorways, of course. Let me stop flying. Actually, I don't need to. So, when you pre-fire, okay, you used to be able to just pre-fire and you wouldn't easily because it was a pretty small gap. Now what you have to watch out for is hit scan. So, whoever peeks first, I'll go into this later, but they have the advantage. Technically, you're not peeking first if you're pre-firing. Okay, whoever peeks first technically has the advantage. But now someone can play at this barrier, and they'll be nowhere near your pre-fire. Right? You'll be pre-firing this door, and they'll come out like this. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay. I wouldn't pre-fire only if you wipe the entire team, and they're just coming in that doorway now, and you know it's safe. Because quite frankly, people aren't going to expect that anymore. People won't expect the pre-fire because it's just not good to do. But in certain situations, it's still good. It's still okay. So, next, pop shotting. With hit scan, this is now also a very important strategy. It's not good to just run out and the 1-shot, 2-shot, 3-shot bursts are definitely the way to go. You want to go in and get back in. Okay? That's why this is so good to play, because you don't have to prone or crouch or anything to get back into cover. You can just jump and go back. Right? You can just jump. I like to do a little peeking thing where I just go up and crouch right away, and then I'll pretty much, it's hard to see, but it can be countered. Because something that I need to see people doing more, which I don't, is people are still aiming at nowhere, basically. They just aim in the general direction. Okay, so I'll put my crosshair on so you guys can see this. But this is where they will aim, just in this general area. Alright. Hopefully they hit something. But what you want to do is you want to focus on the initial pop shot. So when your enemy is going to pop shot, you need to either be aiming where their head is going to come up, which is hard because they have this whole area, and their head can come up. Well, I'm glitched, but let's try and refresh this. So their head could either come up here and they could start jumping, right? Or it could come up in the middle and they could start jumping, or right here. So you can try and adjust, right, to where their head's going to be, but it's very fast window. So what I like to do is aim, sort of get that like level with the top of that doorway. That usually works. And you want to aim at the head level. Because when they pop shot out, head is a one tap. Okay, and if you get a body shot, they can one tap you right away. That's what they're going for. They're going for the one tap headshot, and they're only going for like 2 or 3 bullets because they're going back in. Right? You're just not going to be able to get enough body shots in time for you to kill them. So you gotta go for that headshot, you gotta line it up, go for the headshot. Okay, even like out on this barrier, like just if they're gonna peek out, go like this. They don't aim close, okay, because you're gonna hit the body, you might not even hit them. Aim out where the head is gonna be, okay? That is very important to start doing. And something else we should talk about is the new rotations. So the new rotations is very interesting, and it changes the gameplay, the team play of Tournament Grounds a lot, I would say, substantially. Not to the point where you change, 5v5s, but you're changing the way you're pushing. So I don't even know if I can. Oh, I can. It's my server. Let's just start it. Oh, hard point. Start. Okay. It's mid. The first point, you want to send an equal amount of people to the right and left. Okay. Settings. Alright, just so you can watch the point. Maybe you'll send someone to go up, right? And push this side so they can get an angle on that top right. But in general, you just want to maintain control of the area. For mid, something that you must keep in mind is it's really hard to death cap now that ping is less of a factor. So you need to be gaining control of the enemy's top left or top right before you even think about going for the cap, unless you know your enemy just isn't going to hit the shots on you. You also need to be rotating for capture point early now, because there is less time for that for you to be able to death cap because of the reduced ping. So how you want to do that is, in case there's an enemy at the mid door here, you just want to crouch, you want to wait a little bit, see if there's anyone, and you just want to go, and you want to go next to the point, not to the point where you're exposed. This is a little bit exposed, so they might be able to shoot you actually. So I would actually go from bottom right and play right here or on this barrier, because you won't be exposed. And middle is difficult. Okay, it's difficult to retake and difficult to make a play on. So you want to be getting those early rotates on mid. Just assign one of your worst players, get on that cap. Right? Now we're going to go into pushing the points. So you can't flank anymore. Okay, this may seem like a shocker to most of you. There are some very certain or specific scenarios where you can flank, but when your team is wiped, right, you all 5 of you just left spawn and you're going to push that point, don't bother flanking. You have 60 seconds. It's going to take 30 seconds, at least 20 seconds for you to initiate the flank. And maybe if you win it quickly in 30 or 40 seconds, that only leaves you with 20 seconds left on the clock. So, you want to stack up with your team, your 5-man team, and you want to go in. Okay? This may not have worked before because of the small doorways. Now, the big doorway, you can go in from multiple sides, and you have the peeker's advantage, right? So you just want to get that head level aiming, and you just want to peek them. They won't be pre-firing you. You just want to peek them, and you want to kill them first. Okay? Then you reload, you know, you wait a little bit. You tell your team, oh, they're in cubby, you know, they're in main, you know, you want to call them out. And you want to slowly, one by one, kill their teammates. You don't want to take them all on it at once. Slowly. And then, hopefully, you'll get another 40 seconds out of that point, by which then you'll have to rotate. Right? So that initial fight is very important on the first rotate. So, assuming that we're all rotated now, so rotates, I would start rotating at 50 seconds. Rotates are very important. But flanking is not, because it just takes too long. Okay? But, say you just won that point over here, and the point's now over there. This is the scenario where flanking would be fine. Okay? Because you're already over here, you might as well. It'll be faster to just go through their spawn and flank, rather than going all the way back or resetting. Okay? So this is the point when you would flank. Yeah, pushes, you know, you guys can flank if you want, but it's just not optimal. Okay? And even now with the new hit scan, it's really hard to it's just gonna be really hard to win those 1v1s that you're used to winning, because the enemy, if they're smart, they'll peek you first when you're off guard. They'll hold an angle and they'll kill you, because either you're not expecting them to be there or you're just not ready. You know, if you're flanking, you're probably not in that mindset where I want to be playing for point anyways, which will make them immediately better for you than you. You want to assume that the enemy is good if they're on a rotate. So, something that should also be noted is the I'm looking down at my notes because I keep forgetting what I'm saying. But yeah, I took some notes. Don't criticize me, but just point form. Swing or be swung. Okay, just so I can gather all my thoughts, guys. Don't go crazy on me. So, this is something that has happened across all games. Okay, swing or be swung. Basically, I'll try to explain it. I'm not a master at it, but I'll try and explain it. In the way that ping works, okay? Say there's an enemy holding right here, close. They don't know when you're gonna peek. Right? So, the human reaction time is about, like, I don't know, 30 ms, 30 milliseconds, I don't know. But including ping, which is about usually average around 60 on your own servers. Well, 40 when I'm really good, but normally if there's 10 people in the server, it'll go up to 60. So with all that ping together, when you peek here, okay, you're getting that couple second reaction time that he has to have, and you're getting the ping. And the ping is on your side if you're peeking first. Because if you're the first one to get that headshot in, and he's not fast enough, he's not fast enough to react, then you'll kill him. Whereas before, it was much more reliant on ping, and the hits just did not register as fast. So you were able to just hold this, and you had a whole like 2 seconds to kill this guy if he was keeping you. And on his screen, it would probably look like he killed you, but since you were holding this, you had the advantage. So that is very important to keep in mind. Okay, swing or be swung. That's only really a good concept in 1v1s, right? Because you should only be swinging a 1v1, like someone that's holding you, just one person. So if you're flanking, maybe. But yeah, swing or be swung doesn't apply in a 5v5 or 1v2 situation, okay? Because their teammate can easily kill you if you kill their teammate, unless you're that good and you can just flick on their heads immediately, and they're just not good enough to kill you. But I wouldn't rely on that. I would rely on your ability to fight those 1v1s and work with your team, because that's how you win games, working with your team. Anyways, it's also, this is a complex topic what I'm about to talk about, so I'll try and explain it, but if you don't understand, it's fine. It's something that comes naturally anyways. Determining your playstyle is very important. Okay, most people have a set playstyle, right? They're an anchor, which means they hold the point, or they're a fragger. But it's not, you shouldn't assign yourself to one position. Okay, you may be good at one rather than the other. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna cut that out. 3, 2, 1, action. Action. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah, someone was yelling in the hall, so I just didn't feel like I wanted that in the video, but you shouldn't stick yourself to one play style. Okay, you should be adapting based on what your team needs and how the enemies are. How you top frag is based on your skill level and your ability to find those kills. So if you know you're better, you need to go out there, overextend, and play for those kills, because it's just gonna work out for you. Okay, you know you're better. But if it's a competitive match and you know that your teammates are overextending even though they shouldn't be, that you should anchor even though you know you're better. It's about playing with your team and playing for the team, even if they're not playing for you. That's how you win games. So you should also be anchoring if you know you're not good. And if it's a competitive match, the best thing is to have all 5 of your teammates in the point, ready for their next push, because they're going to be pushing quick, fast, and if you're overextending, they have a 3v1 advantage, usually at least 3v1 advantage over you, and that just won't work. You might get 1 kill, but that's just not enough to stop them from pushing. Okay, so only overextend if you're very confident, or if you're cheating, which I don't recommend. Please don't cheat, because you'll get caught and banned from Roblox, not just LWC or Tournament Grounds, Bifron or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, don't cheat. You just need to be adapting, and don't assign yourself to a specific position unless the leader of your event told you to, because the leader knows best. Let's be honest. He knows what's going to win you the game, and he can't have 5 fraggers and 5 anchors. Okay, he needs to have a balance. So listen to him. But if you want to assign a position, don't assign one to yourself right away. Okay, be lenient with it and gauge how the enemies are playing and see where their weak points are. You know, for example, because examples are important. It's hard to see where a weak point is. If you notice that the enemies they're ganging up on you often. They're not good. They're just spraying and praying, but they're ganging up on you, and it's like you might get one of them, but then the other 2 get you, because they're all pushing you at the same time. What you want to do in this case is you want to play passive, okay? You want to wait for those 3 people to push you, then you get 1, you pull back, you kill the other 2, if you're good, which you know you are because they've just been spraying and praying. And that's how you want to do it. You don't want to just bum rush and try and take them off guard because they're on guard, or you want to do it with your team. But a point where you should be being aggressive, not passive, is if the enemies have really good aim, but they're not playing together. Okay, that's when you can be aggressive. You can rely more on the tactics and the gameplay, because they'll have better aim than you and better skills, technical skills, but your tactics can put them in a position where they just won't be able to out aim you. You'll put yourself at the advantage. You need to think about that when you're going into fights and going into scrims, and your overall strategy. Next, I already said don't flank anymore. And I'm just going to do a quick reminder to isolate your fights. So do those 1v1s. I did this in my last video, but it's very important. Yes, this might be how you get clips. 1v3, put it in your montage. But that's not how you top frag. You top frag by getting a low amount of deaths and a high amount of kills. Okay? That means staying alive and killing them one by one. Because statistically, doing a 1v1 is a much better chance of you winning than a 2v1. So, like I say, unless you're 5 levels above, theoretical levels above the enemies, you shouldn't be taking those 2v1s. You should just be 1v1ing, because that's how you rack up those kills. Like for example, my montages, I spend some time on them, but they're never crazy. They never have some crazy flick on 5 people at once, because personally I play with the mindset of win the game. Alright, and I don't just go in balls deep. And sometimes I will if I'm excited and we're winning by a lot. And you might have seen a few of those clips in my montages, of course. But another minor disturbance. Anyways, I think I'm going to cut that out, and if I don't, that'll be very embarrassing. But okay, I already said how to peek the big door, so I don't need to go over that again. Holding flank, I already kind of explained that. Do your 1v1s, right? And it's only really important to hold flank when you know the enemy's overextended. And alright, here we go again. Okay, some minor disturbances, but I'm gonna put this part in with the video I just recorded. Unfortunately, I had some interruptions. I think I just said that, but anyways, moving on. So I just did okay, well, this will be the conclusion, I guess, because I didn't really get to conclude formally, but just like to say a few things about the community and where things are going. So basically, if you're in my group Revenant, you would know that we're making a full transition to raids instead of scrims. And unfortunately, it's because that LWC competitive matchmaking has sort of killed off the scrim game. And don't get me wrong, it's a great idea. I would do the same if I owned tournament grounds. But external groups won't really see the benefit of competitive matchmaking. So if you're interested in raids where we basically it's a community where we'll go off and find groups, right? Never before seen. Usually they're pretty bad at combat, but they'll be good on their own maps. So what we'll do is we'll hit up a map. If we lose, no problem. We'll go again, and we'll keep going until we win. That's the sort of mindset where Revenant is at. And I suggest that groups do this as well. If you're a group owner and you're in LWC, you're going to notice that scrims won't happen as often as they used to, and I've already been planning ahead for this. So I suggest moving to a raid format. And for those of you who want to still scrim, I highly recommend joining the competitive matchmaking, and I'll put that in the link in the description. So anyone can do that. You don't have to be a part of a group. Doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are, just join, and you'll be able to play tournament grounds. With this being said, Revenant will still have a specialized scrimming unit called Pararescue Command. So if you're interested in scrimming competitively for Revenant, with the potential of earning Robux, because Revenant will be doing competitive scrims for the most part only from now on, tournaments and such. So if you're interested in that, and even if you are an existing Revenant member, then Pararescue Command will be where all the tournament grounds related events are. Of course, unless a military group, like a military, for example, a British Army, their Special Air Service wants to go against us, right? We wouldn't do that with Pararescue. I'd ask some 5 random people in Revenant to go there so the match is fun and fair. But in short, the transition is being made, and things will be different, and you won't see those external kind of groups anymore. So if you're interested in raiding and sort of joining the community, then even if you're interested in scrimming competitively, I suggest joining Revenant and getting in with the community, because it's definitely something different than you've probably ever been in. It's not big, right? We're a pretty small set, but it's not big in the way that there's a lot of members, but it's big in importance. We're probably arguably the most active and prestigious FPS group at the moment, not taking into account any sort of military genre, like I mean like a PMC. And when I say prestigious, I mean active, if you know what I mean, and one of the only active ones at that. So it's not really a strong claim, because there aren't many groups that are active anyways. So that is just a proposition, and I'd like for all of you to don't quit on LWC yet, because even if it may seem that, you know, your group is starting to die, oh, this community's dying, you know, that's the kind of mindset you want to have. It's just not true. You know, you can still go to the competitive matchmaking, and there's other ways that you can be involved in LWC. You can even start your own group if you want, and I encourage it. I think even if you don't have the experience, I think you should start your own group and just go for the experience, even if it isn't successful, because it'll be fun either way. So this will be probably one of the last Tournament Grounds related videos for me. I might still do a couple of montages relating to the competitive matchmaking, but I'm also thinking of making content related to the conquest that Revenant is about to go on. And if you're interested in that, let me know. Give me some sort of ideas, because I've never really made a video like that before. And thank you guys for just if you're watching this, then I appreciate you sticking around and waiting for me to make this video, because it's been too long, because this update has been around for a while. So with that being said, goodbye, and I will see you in the next video.